everyone. This video is all about the frequency forecast for June 2021. Hi, my name is Nancy Rebecca. You can find out more about me on my website, intuitivemind.org. And I've been tuned into June for a couple of weeks now, and it was just like, oh my goodness. We had April where we had that kind of top-down shift, kind of being download from the cosmos. And then in May was much more of just kind of like this total shift of being shifted from the root chakra up, that more grounded state. And remember, May was all about in those places in your life where maybe you were kind of living a little bit shallowly, whether it was in your work or in relationships or just in your personal vision for yourself. So those were going to get really shaken up. And where you had real grounded stability, that would be a much smoother shift. And then June, it's not top down or bottom up. It's almost like this inside out frequency. We are at this point where the fork in the road is much more dramatic than it has been in the past. This is all about kind of untwisting and unfolding, unfurling, kind of really opening up to your soul's personality in a much bigger way. And the best way that you know what your soul's personality is if you go back to when you were a child. What was some real natural types of ways that you played? I say June is all about, it's kind of like that ping pong table where the ball's being hit back and forth from one side of the net to the other. We can think of it in terms of that spiritual vibration and frequency of third dimensional focus versus a fifth dimensional focus. So the third dimensional focus is more of that physical human focus of worry and fear and doubt and criticism, all of those things, kind of slower, more effort-filled, a little more angst, really not being kind of cautious about moving forward. And then the fifth dimensional realm is much more spiritually oriented, where you have a high level of trust and faith that you can see life from the spiritual perspective. But what I see is happening right now here in June is that, it's almost like life is this kind of mundane world, kind of apathetic, meaning almost like we've been shocked so many times. I'm not even going to say in the last 4 years, I'm going to say in the last 10 years. We've been shocked so many times, it's almost like we don't even know how to respond anymore. So this June is really, I wouldn't even say it's going to shake things up. It's more about revealing, being illuminated, stating the obvious about which side that you're going to stand on versus the other. Spirit kind of showed me that teeter-totter. Do you remember as a kid standing on one side and the other end is up in the air, and then you kind of walk across the top of the teeter-totter, and then you come down on the other side? But wasn't it a lot of fun to kind of stand in the middle and do that kind of balancing act? And really that's where most of us have been most of our life, not really standing on one side or the other, trying to really balance everything in our life to make everything work. Well, this June, it's going to be very different. So if your personality is one way at work and then you come home and you've got a completely different personality, or Spirit was saying, like you go to church on Sunday and you're very reverent and respectful and joyful of praise of God and the divine, and then that night you go to you let your hair down, you go to that rock concert, you're going to be a completely different person. So in some ways, it's like, those split personalities, I kind of call it, aspects of yourself that might be more manic. The other aspect might be more depressive. You might have some where we feel kind of schizophrenic inside, where we feel kind of split in so many different directions. And I most certainly know when I was in my 20s, I was a wife and a mother. I was going to nursing school in the evening. I was still working, trying to juggle all those balls. And I definitely was almost a different person that had to kind of move for those things to happen. So here in June, all those places where we have been divided, we are really going to be challenged by the frequency and the vibration to let go of those parts of ourselves that don't work anymore, and then really walk forward in our life with not just what works, but who you are authentically, who you are born to be. What is your true personality? Because a lot of times we construct a personality to survive. Those old survival personalities are no longer going to work very well anymore. So what has been kind of where you felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, it's like, I can't make this decision. It's like, I've got pros and cons on this side, I have pros and cons on that side, and both of them have valuable points. It's like, no, this month where things were kind of hard to make a decision on, it's going to be much more obvious. It's like, this relationship, yeah, it works. And it's like, this month you're going to say, wow, this is not working, or it is really working. It's going to become much clearer to you. In your job, it's like, yeah, I could make this work. I could live, in this job for the next 20 years. I've got a plan. And then obviously it's going to be made very clear through the vibration frequency of, yeah, what you want to do to move forward and what you don't want to do. So there's a lot of things that are coming very obvious. I'm kind of laughing here as I'm making this video, because as the vibration and frequency of all of us collectively, and you watching the videos and anticipating watching these videos, it's like we've got the leaf blowers going. I've got the trucks rumbling down the street. So it's kind of funny about just how much is going to get shaken up this month. Now, here we are. As I'm making this video, we are right in the middle between May 26th, 2021, we had that amazing full moon lunar eclipse, and now June 10th, we're going to have this full solar eclipse. So you all are sandwiched in between two eclipses. This is huge. So in this period of time before June 10th, you really want to anchor in your dreams, like dreaming big. I have a friend that talks about, if you were going to read the headlines in 5 years from now in the newspaper all about you, what would those headlines say? So it's about really dreaming big, really growing big, expecting to be big. Where do you want to go? What is your spirit illuminating for you? So right now, I want you, right after you listen to this, to go start making a list, because these two eclipses are huge. So you want to make a list that you're going to be taking some action steps towards, because that's what this whole month is about. That split in the road is getting clearer. It's like, yeah, I'm clearly going to go to the right. I'm no longer going to go to the left. I'm going to stand in my truth, my authenticity. Then there's going to be this period of kind of this growing inside of you. And then towards the end of the month, it's all about action, 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 action. So let's see, what else did I want to say about this month? So when I'm just talking about the two personalities, it's like, I used to be able to compromise myself when I went to go visit my in-laws, and I can't compromise myself anymore. I kept my intuitive side hidden, my spiritual side hidden, and I just don't share that with too many people. It's like, this month you are not going to be able to do that. It's going to be all about all your parts coming together, and then those aspects of yourself that are no longer work are going to fall away. It's kind of like, what can I no longer digest in my life? So for some of you who have sensitive stomachs, you are going to feel, some of you may have nausea, some may have that, you just don't have much of an appetite. You may have constipation, or you may have big releases in the form of diarrhea. Now, I'm a nurse, so I'm going to talk about those physical aspects. And so why will that be happening for some of you? Because what you used to be able to digest in life, yeah, I can eat that. Yeah, I can settle with that. Yeah, I can make that work. And we stuff it, and we stuff it, and we stuff it. And then our whole digestive system, from what we put in our mouth to what we swallow down in our esophagus, to what goes into our stomach, that goes into our small intestines, our large intestines, to what's being absorbed through not only your physical body, but your spiritual wellness as well. You're going to come to a point where I can't digest this anymore. I just can't do it one more day. So some of you may find that you're having some stomach upsets as well. So I talked about between now and June 10th, as we are heading towards the solar eclipse, you really want to write down your dreams. And then you've got between June 10th and June 25th is going to be those kind of cleaning house where you're meditating, you're letting go, letting go, letting go of what no longer serves you, and getting very clear about your opinions and your ideas about things. Now, there's some of you who've been doing your spiritual work for a long time, and you've done a tremendous amount of work to be able to stay in balance. But it has been a challenge to stay in balance in this really out of balance world. And I know a lot of you all over the world are watching this video right now, but I also know that you all watch the news. And in the United States, I mean, we are divided right down the middle of the country. And it's a dramatic division. And so you've been trying to hold it together, stay present, stay purposeful, even though you feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. So again, this is what you're going to be noticing for you all is it's like a sense of relief, because the vibration and frequency of June is greater clarity, clearly which camp are you going to be standing in. You're going to feel much more relaxed as the whole country and the whole world starts to kind of align themselves with their higher spiritual purpose. Now, then we get to June 25th, and this is going to go all the way through to around July 5th from what Spirit has told me. And in that range, action, 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 action. So make your list of what you dream about, what you desire. Know it's going to kind of be percolating, cooking, baking, and then by the time you get to June 25th is when you're going to want to have some action steps put in place. And so it's like, all right, so I clearly want to exercise more. So by June, I don't know why I keep saying July, June 25th, it's like I'm going to have a game plan. I'm going to get up every day. I'm going to walk a mile, or I'm going to go jogging or go to the gym, or I'm going to do a YouTube video on yoga. Whatever, you're going to have an action plan in place. So for like me, for example, I'm in the middle of rebuilding my websites. And so they're kind of old and outdated. They're like 10 years old. So technology, I need to catch up with technology. So I know I need to put those place, anchor those things I need to take action on, and that the vibration and frequency at the end of June is going to be just ripe and ready for you to take a lot of action. And when I say action, I mean a little action is going to give you big results. So you want to really plan a big part of your action steps at that time. Now, definitely I'm going to be doing action steps all month long, but I know I'm really going to save some big projects for that kind of 10-day period of time. So there's a lot going on for the month of June. It's really exciting. It feels good to me, and I think it's going to feel good to a lot of you, much differently than April and May. Even though, yeah, it feels like a division, it's more about coming together. So I think that's about it for that. So one of the meditations that I recommend is that you just you can be laying there, sitting in a chair, laying on the grass, and just imagine that you're in a room full of stuff, kind of like a hoarder. And that room's going to be symbolic of your human energy field. And you're going to go in that room and you're going to start clearing out the items that are black or black and white are going to be the items that you no longer need. So they're going to be not of color. They may be black, white, or gray. So any of the items that you see in that room is your spirit's indicator that that symbol, that image needs to be cleared out of your aura. The things that are of brightness, of a bright color, maybe rainbow colors, primary colors, those are the things that are in alignment with where you're moving. You will want to keep those. So even for the whole month of June, just keep revisiting that room and just keep clearing stuff out, because you are, as a clairvoyant, I can see when you're working in your energy field, you are literally clearing blocks of energy out of your field to really prepare yourself for all the movement that you will be able to make here in this month of June. Just have a couple of announcements I want to make. So one is I have a new website. So my new website was launched, and so you can go to intuitivemind.org and please take a look around at my new site. New bright colors, and I really love it. It's much lighter, much brighter. And then check out the travel section under products, under sales, and you can look at the travel page to see some of the travels that I've done around the world. The other thing is I have a nonprofit, soulseeds.org. We are doing a lot of healing for the community. Community healing, where we're coming together. We're picking certain projects, whether it's mental health or homelessness, childhood poverty. So we're kind of choosing subjects. So get on our mailing list, soulseeds.org. Drop us a line. Let us know that you would like to be part of one of our healing groups that's doing a lot to energetically send a lot of love out to our communities. We're trying to do a lot of boots on the ground things, but the energetic shifts that can happen can really help uplift all of our communities in that way. I have two major events in June to help us keep shifting. So on June 13th is the Psychic Showcase. Take a look at that on my website. You can read more about that. Sign up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the following weekend we have our summer solstice group reading. So I look forward to seeing you all on that call as well. Let's move some energy. All right, everyone, let's all hang in there together. We are much stronger together than we are apart. We are much stronger united than we are divided. And June is really going to illuminate this for us. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week and take great care of yourself. And I'll see you next week.